it's you. You returned to us at last.
Yes.
Let's celebrate. You reclaim the throne. We'll rebuild. Me and you against the world. Huh? Just like the old days.
I'm... not staying.
I don't understand. You're here. Maybe together we can take back what's ours.
I only just got back what's mine. I still have work to do.
You've seen what's left of the realm, right? Do we really mean that little to you?
You question my loyalty? Vanaheim turned its back on me.
Oh, you still can't let go of that old fight.
It was my duty to save as many of our people as possible. My responsibility. One you didn't take seriously then, and from the looks of it, one you don't now.
You think this is a game to me?
Yeah.
We lost everything to that maniac you called husband. The man's family set me on fire. How did you expect me to react?
Like my brother! Like the boy that used to have my back no matter what! And who I always supported no matter how selfish his choices. I expected you to come and find me. That no matter how hurt or angry, you wouldn't abandon me when I needed you the most.
Freya, please. I thought you were dead. I've had to live lifetimes with those last awful words I said to you. Have any idea what that's like? Knowing that your own selfishness hurt the person that you cared about the most. Abandon you. Oh, Freya. I mourned you. Oh, I've missed you so much.
And I, you, Yngvi. But I won't bind myself to another realm when I finally have my freedom. I'll send help, though. And I will come back. I promise.
This hasn't been your home for a long time, has it? Do what you gotta do.
All right, that's enough. Ain't y'all got nothing better to do than gawking at family sorting squabbles? Come on, you two. Not you. Got a few things to square with y'all. First is you collecting your spare heads. Second is that sigil magic I smell on your bow. Reckon that's an idea I'll steal. How's about I set you up with some sonic mojo? Call it a trade.
Very well.
Third of all, if you ain't staying here, bears mentioning that Sindri and I find ourselves running a flophouse for unemployed guards. If you're done freezing your backside off in Midgard, maybe come back with Beardo there. Check up on your old pal Tyr.
That's kind of you, Brom. I may do just that.
Well, all right then. I'll meet y'all back at the house. Guessing you want me to fix anything up first.
Well, brother, care to meet our new allies? Or shall we depart?
Excuse me, can you stop and help a lady out, please?
Damn it! You know I hate it when you loiter.
What is it?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time tinkering up and down the river delta. Once Odin's army came to town, I lit out of there faster than a tassel worm with its bottom ablaze. So frazzled, I accidentally left behind a few irreplaceables.
What? Irreplaceables?
Well, just one, really. An orb. I'd be mighty grateful if you would find it.
What is it?
And if you come across any of my old, beautifully rusted armor pieces, I'll use the scrap to whip up something specially suited just for you.
What is the orb?
Just bring it back here and you'll make me happy as a sunbeam. Oh, and don't forget to keep an eye out for my old armor. I'll fix it up for you, free of charge.
What sort of orb do you imagine we're looking for, brother?
I do not know.
Tell me about the camp dog.
Lord Freyr found her half dead in the jungle. She probably escaped the blood-hindered breeding far north of here. We all told him she was beyond saving, but he never gave up. She healed and hasn't left us since. She's a pure heart. Believes in your goodness, even if you don't.
Keep her sharp and she'll keep you alive. You still owe me the story of who made these things. Let's make something then. Damn! Am I good or what?
Very good.
Need something special? And Lady Freya? What are you looking for? Now don't go get yourself killed, hear me? Ready when you are. And now for the goddess. You know what you want? No refunds.
Can't believe we missed this. I remember where to look for a gateway. Follow me.
Well, you two seem to be getting on since completing your mission. Dare I hope this alliance has some staying power after all?
It seems to me we share a common enemy. Kratos, you may not accept that Ragnarok... inevitable. But you're smart enough to know Odin is a threat. Whatever comes next, our best chance of surviving it is to work together. Do you agree?
I do.
Then as to Brock's offer, you can imagine staying under the same roof as a couple former enemies? No further temptations towards terrible vengeance?
Not against you. Either of you. You have my word. This lock is different from others you might know. You'll need an enchantment on your chisel to use it. Go ahead, carve the letter.
Suna.
It's an incantation. I'll speak it. Suna.
The elves in Freyr's camp mentioned a gate like this in Alfheim. Kept on about some sacred light elf sanctum out past the Barrens.
A trip to Alfheim. Well, we can decide at the gateway. This boat should get us there if we can clear those vines. Remember what to do? fallen log in the river. It has something on it I don't recognize. So it's true. Tyr's really alive?
Aye. Not exactly shipshape. He sleeps in a broom closet now. But he's adjusting.
How did you find him?
Largely, that's down to Atreus having figured out how to access the prophecies giants reserved for their own kind. We only learned of it ourselves after Thor and Odin came calling.
To your home? Is it still standing?
Barely. But all the violence was seemingly just a distraction to let Odin have a private word with Atreus.
Odin was alone with your son? Did he tell you what they spoke of?
Yes. He said that Odin invited him to Asgard to help him find his answers.
The answers he's rushing into fate in search of. That's troubling. Well, if you're ready to talk to him, the Mystic Gateway is ahead. If not, I have some unfinished business up this river I could use your help with.
Or we can follow up on that elven sanctum out in Alfheim's desert.
If you want to continue exploring, we'll need to remove that log in the river.
What is this?
The crest of Skirnir. Never quite as smart as he thought. Good. We can explore the river now. Hopefully write some more memories.
What is your unfinished business?
I left something behind, near the falls.
Your wedding site. Now, why do you want to be going back there?
To be free of the bonds of my marriage. And to Asgard.
I think you severed that a long time ago.
Not completely. Not enough.
Guide us.
My people settled this river many ages ago. Thousands traveled it on pilgrimage to the shrine of worship. But then the Aesir came. This is all that's left. Astrid's garden. The wilds reclaimed it. It was beautiful once.
Something your brother said. The Aesir burned him.
Yes. We weren't yet at war, but relations with the Vanir and Aesir had been hostile for ages.
Enough. We will continue later.
It's going to ram you! Behind you! Watch out!
Felt that one, brother.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass! Brother, I had a thought. What if we took a stealthy approach to our next battle?
No.
You're on fire, Kratos! It will pass!
Creatures weren't always this ravenous. The ecosystem, it's out of balance.
All is desolation. A fitting fate.
Astrid.
Spirit.
Freya, you return.
Astrid. What happened to you? To your garden?
The Einherjar. My life's work rotted. My monument to your glory reduced to this. I am sorry, my queen.
You need never apologize to me, old friend.
I swore to keep this garden in bloom until you return. To live forever amongst its putrescence. A just punishment.
I will return, Astrid. Kratos, we purge this garden of poison.
Why?
The earth is a reflection of those who tend it. So long as the land is plagued, her soul will be as well. We have to destroy the totems. They're poisoning Astrid's garden. See that explosive? Setting it off could help.
Ah, maybe you can hit it from a
When
different
my
angle.
garden blooms, so will my soul.
Oh, glad to see that still works. An armor-piece bearing Lunda's brand. Shame it's broken. Nice bit of work otherwise.
Then why leave it?
You suspicious of her, brother?
If the orb she seeks is important, she would not have left it behind.
Perhaps. This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counterspell.
I await the day when my garden grows again.
Sigil arrows won't work on this. Sigil arrows won't work on this. The family crest of Henir. Poor man. Can you see if there's a way inside while you're up there?
Learn anything?
My garden is still as dead as I am, isn't it?
You know, I would have beaten you
What?
earlier if Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again, find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't. See that explosive? Setting it off could help.
Ah, maybe you can hit it from a different angle.
When my garden blooms, so will my soul.
Sigil arrows won't work on this.
await the day when my garden grows again.
Life returns to the garden. Good. See that explosive? Setting it off could help.
Ah, maybe you can hit it from a different angle.
My garden is still as dead as I am, isn't it?
Sigil arrows won't work on this. This garden still aches. There must be more poison somewhere.
When my garden blooms, so will my soul.
Look, the door's held shut by that counterweight. We lower it, the door will open. Look, over there. Those vines have grown through the window. Maybe we could get closer from the other side. Those vines. They're growing from that bridge.
Freya, how did your brother come to be burned by the Aesir?
Well, Freyr got it into his head that he could improve relations by sharing our magic with them. Vanir techniques for bountiful harvests, enough to feed their whole population. Getting set on fire was the thanks he got.
That's true. The Aesir were too undisciplined and impatient for the subtlety of Vanir spellcraft. So when things went wrong, they blamed their teacher.
So Freya was a guest when Odin burned him?
Not exactly. Odin didn't mind locking Freyr up. He saw the potential of the magic and wanted to know more than how to improve crop yields. It was a mob of lesser Aesir, bitter and short-sighted, who tied him up and lit him aflame as punishment for the sabotage they imagined him guilty of. Obviously, he survived. In fact, he used the opportunity to escape. But such an affront made war inevitable.
Freyr certainly wasn't the same after that. At least for a while. His carefree ways were replaced with nightmares, paranoia, and lashing out. It doesn't excuse what he said at my wedding, but I do understand where his anger came from.
Freya, there's something I've always wanted to ask. What was it Hrimthur whispered to you?
Who?
Hrimthur, the son of Thormur, the stonemason, who disguised himself and built Asgard's wall.
Oh, yes. One of the many occasions Odin saw fit to involve me in a wager without my consent. I wish I could say that was the worst of his husbandly habits.
What wager?
I've told this story, brother.
And now she may tell her own.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, He was promised an audience with the queen. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half-drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the Mason wants. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this Mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur.
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear. He said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye, blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way.
What is it, Mimir?
That's nothing, brother. Just... you ever have those moments where you wish you could go back? Rewrite your own past, make different decisions?
Journeying through time is more trouble than it is worth.
Ah, fair point. You're speaking metaphorically, right?
No.
Of course you're not. Well, brother, before you see the lad again, might we discuss an approach?
He will tell me where he has been. That is my approach.
Ah, classic Spartan diplomacy.
Wait. Did you say Odin invited him to Asgard, and then he disappeared for 2 days?
Aye, but surely the lad's got more sense than to...
Don't underestimate Odin's powers of persuasion. He filled my son's head with lies. Why wouldn't he do the same with yours?
And you tell that one-eyed nutsucker he owes me one.
Thank me now and eternally.
Well, looky there. Glad you could make the trip, your goddessness. I put your sigil magic on the young turd's bow, but then he and Sindri got into it over something. I don't rightly know who's yelling at who in there.
Atreus.
Well, come on then. Hey, Tyr! Wake up! You got company. Now, why don't you just make yourself at home in Sindri's so-called study over yonder?
You're sure he won't mind?
Mine? He'll be thrilled. Joint's getting classier by the day.
I never thought I'd have the pleasure of seeing you again, Frick.
Don't call me that. I haven't been that person in a long time. You've been worse for so long. You must have been through.
Nothing so bad as what you've suffered. Freya, I am so sorry to hear what happened to Baldur. He was only a boy when I saw him last, but I know he meant more to you than anything. Your vengeance in this way, it's truly an inspiration for those of us who believe in peace.
The only peace these realms will ever know is once Odin is gone. Believe in that.
So you're not here to prevent Ragnarok, you're here to bring it about.
I'm here to make sure Odin doesn't hurt anyone, the way he hurt us.
I can see I've upset you. Forgive me. I am far removed from my days of diplomacy.
Not too shabby having a proper goddess around the house. Try to stay on her good side this time, why don't you?
She's no less majestic than the last day I saw her. What a thing I must be to look at.